everybody, my name is Python and welcome back to another episode here of Pythoncraft. Today, my friends, we are going to get a long overdue project done. Well, 1 out of 2 overdue projects. Today, we're going to make ourselves an automatic sugarcane farm, but this time, and for the first ever time, I'm going to use auto crafters to make it instead into a paper making factory. And then, yeah, in a future episode, we'll go ahead and we will make ourselves some sort of hostile mob drop trap farm or creeper farm, you know, something that will allow us to grab ourselves all of the gunpowder we need. And then, of course, we can combine the gunpowder and paper to have ourselves an endless supply of fireworks. We got ourselves a bunch of sugarcane. I think I'm going to go for 2 banks of 8 sugarcane growing. I mean, this is only a single player world at the end of the day, and I can't really think of any other usage for paper aside from firework rockets. I mean, unless we're going to do the whole map wall idea eventually. Either way, in a single player world, you don't really go through a lot of paper, do you? So yeah, let's see if we can't determine where this thing is gonna go. I'm thinking right about here, you know? We could have ourselves like the output area out to the side here, and eventually, I've got a bit of an idea for this little cave here. We have a nether portal, and it's been there for some time, right? What if we were to take a little bit of a leaf out of previous Let's Plays, and we transform this cave into a nether cave, and this dead end becomes the portal area? I think that'd be a really, really cool idea. To start off today's episode, though, we have had a villager zombie sat in a boat in a trading hall for a little while. So we're going to go ahead and get that guy killed. So into the trading hall we go. Hello there, buddy. Oh, I didn't actually mean to do that. Right, we're going to be super quick before this guy winds up, you know, running out of the weakness effect. You, my good sir, need to get back in this. Oh, what the? Oh, good grief. Please don't die. Seriously, please don't die. Please. I don't have any water. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move on to making our paper factory. So then we need pistons, we need observers, we need mine carts, we need ourselves the new auto crafters. Although actually they're not that new anymore. I've just never really bothered to do anything with them yet, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's a first time for everything, right? Better late than never, I guess. All right, pistons have been created. We need only 2 observers. Do we have access to the crafter recipe? We do not. For the first time in an extremely long time, I'm actually going to have to check out a recipe on the wiki. Okay, so we need a dropper. There we go. New recipes unlocked. Let's go ahead and make this thing for the first ever time. The crafter requires a dropper, a crafting table, 5 iron ingots, and 2 bits of redstone. Alrighty, minecart with hopper. And I think we're just about there, aside from grabbing ourselves out a bunch of building resources. Yeah. Alright, so at least we can get the functional part of this thing done. And honestly, I think that's the most important part. The first thing we need to do, though, is we need to figure out the footprint of this build. And, of course, we're going to be going with a similar style to what we already have here. So we're going to start off with some nice L-shaped corners. And now, just to figure the rest of it out, we've got the sugarcane that's going to be growing on this row here. And, of course, that means the minecart rail is going to go underneath, which means it will then be a wall, which will contain the pistons and the observers, and then maybe a line of redstone. Then it's going to be another line of pistons and observers. Then this would be the other growth row, and that means this here should become another corner. Wait, no, here. There we go. All right, time for a little bit of Operation Flatten. While we're making a start here, my friends, it gives me an opportunity to, of course, say a massive thank you for all of your lovely support through this series. I really do appreciate it. Of course, if you do want to continue supporting these episodes and the channel here, I'd very much appreciate it if you'd consider dropping a like beneath the video. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on my future Minecraft content. Yeah, this isn't going to be a hassle at all now, is it? We have ourselves the underwater cave lake thingy-madoo-hickey underneath here. We might have to double up the thickness of the surface here shouldn't wind up being that difficult. Actually, there's not a great deal that we need to fill in here. So let's just get this done, and then we can move on to the build itself. Ah, don't drown! Don't drown, Python, you big old goofball! Ah! There we go. All right, let's see if we can't figure out this output situation, eh? Only this time we have an additional step in the form of incorporating the crafter into this, right? So, my presumption is that the output for the crafter comes out of the bottom, and then what we can do is we can have ourselves a hopper coming in either side, right? And then the minecart rail will simply run along the top, right? So as the minecart continues to pick up items from above, you know, the sugarcane, it will keep on cycling back and forth over these hoppers, and as a result, there should be a bunch of sugarcane go into here, making the paper. The paper goes out into this chest. So, figuring out the power situation, we're gonna go underneath the end bit of the block where the minecart is going to be hosted upon. We're going to place down a rail. We are going to flick this switch. No, not that one. This one. And there we go. That is nicely powered. The next layer we're placing down, of course, is the dirt where the sugarcane is going to be growing. So there we are. Nice and straightforward. I want to give this a little bit of a test run. I want to make sure this actually... Oh, what? Right. So that is automatically... Oh, okay. Disable slot. Do that. That's not quite what I had in mind. So how do you get it to actually craft? Oh, you know what? There probably needs to be some sort of power source, eh? My biggest concern is, what if this being here accidentally locks the hoppers? I don't know. Anyway, what we're going to try is we're going to try sending some bits of sugarcane down, and we're going to basically just sort of see what happens. So, over it goes. I mean, is this, like, actually going to do anything? Or are the hoppers indeed locked? I think they are. Maybe we just need to send a signal through a block. Ah, yes, okay. Right, have we got this thing up and working then? Okay, no, not quite. We need to send these things through again and just sort of hope that this does the job. Oh, they've all gone out. Ah, dang blast it. I don't know how this works at all. What if we tried removing the hopper down here? What would happen then? Place these three in, right? And then we place in all of the sugarcane. And what? Presumably they'll wind up in here. But how do you get this to come out? It's not, like, immediately apparent. Ah, okay. The wiki seems to suggest that the way the crafter is facing seems to have some bearing on how it works. So, hang on. Bear with me just a second. Let's get you picked up real quick. Let's have a bit of a look at this thing. So, what's the output area? Is it this front bit? Is that the output area? Or is it this, like, redstone bit? Redstone active. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh! I think we've got it, my friends. Yeah. Okay, right. I think I may have just figured this thing out. Okay, bear with me just a second again. I'm going to get there in the finish, my friends. This is all a learning experience for your boy. So, crafter goes there. Yeah. And then we don't even need to have this be, like, recessed into the ground. We can simply have our double chest just out the front, like this. Then we add back in the block and the lever. Not entirely sure what they're doing in there, but oh well. We get these placed back in, rather like that. Disable a bunch of these here slots. Do a little bit of this. And then my hope is that when we try to send ourselves a few more of these bad boys along, maybe it'll actually work this time. No. Okay, something needs to activate this thing. Alright, I think I've got it. What if we were to continually shoot little pulses of redstone out via the usage of a detector rail? The detector rail, this thing will keep on going above it. It will shoot out the redstone pulse, and therefore it should craft this stuff up. So far as I can remember, we need ourselves a pressure plate, and actually that should be it, yeah? Oh, you get 6 of them per time as well. Haha! Alrighty, levers removed. We've got 2 activator rails either side of a powered rail, and we only really need 1 of each of them to activate what we're doing here. So let's try placing down a redstone repeater. That'll go into this block, which will power this block, and inadvertently this one here as well. Now we need to try this thing, I guess. Let me just make sure. Yep, it's still got some sugarcane in there. Very, very good. So I'm going to place me some sugarcane in there, set this thing off. And, oh, hello, something just happened. Ooh. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, sugar. Ah, yes. Inadvertent byproduct, apparently. I really wish there was a way of us preventing sugar from being created. But then again, I mean, you know, there's other things that sugar can be used for, right? You can use it in the creation of fermented spider eyes for splash posters of weakness. You can also use it in brewing to make speed potions. This could be like an accidental multifunctional farm. To make it more so create paper over sugar, though, I think what we may need is actually some more hoppers. My concern now, though, is if I was to place down hoppers here, then these detector rails, I'm pretty sure, would lock the hoppers. I know, my friends, I know. You're probably shouting at me in the comments area, but I said you're such a redstone noob. Well, guess what? I most definitely am. I am definitely no mumbo jumbo, okay? So, as much as I understand that there's probably a good amount of you more seasoned redstone veterans out there, believe me, I am not. And, well, to be honest, this episode has made that pretty clear, I would say. But, you know, it's all a learning process, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, I've had quite a lot of fun trying to figure this thing out. We've got there slowly but surely. And yeah, I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Alrighty, so we have increased the amount of hoppers we have. We have moved along the detector rail so we don't wind up accidentally locking any hoppers. And as a result, I think we should be able to give this thing a proper try. So I've got all the remaining sugarcane that I have in my base area over here in the minecart. And we are now going to send it along and we're gonna see what happens. Alright. Still got paper. Oh, yeah. It's awesome, actually. This is working in an absolute treat so far. All right, so no more paper is being created. Oh, that's interesting. I thought maybe this would have created some sugar, but no, instead it's just left 2 bits of sugarcane in there. Maybe this thing only activates so often, and maybe it wasn't often enough to the point where we could have sugar be created. Okay, so in which case the next batch of sugarcane that's picked up would go in here, and then it would become paper once again. So, now to add in where the water is going to go. That is, of course, going to be right next to... Oh, that's... Ah. We won't be able to place a bit of sugarcane here, huh? Okay, I might have goofed that up a little bit. I need to move this minecart rail along a bit again. Oh my goodness me. You'd think from watching today's episode that I've never made an automatic sugarcane farm before. I mean, I have, but not with a crafter. So it's kind of made things go a little bit skew-if. So there we are. Crafter goes down. Then we can add in the hoppers again. And we can then add in all of the rails. Nice and easy, my friends. There we are. We now have the water areas in. So just gotta fill them up now. And then we can work on the actual sugarcane farm section itself. So let's just get ourselves up hither, do a little bit of parkour here, and then place down the water, place down this water as well. And there we have it. Now what we can do is we can start covering up the water. We're going to start introducing some rather, you know, nicer looking blocks into the mix here. We've got ourselves some polished tuff going on. We can start adding in the pistons as well. We're going to add in the observers, of course. We'll have one... Oh, wait, that's facing the wrong way. Okay, it needs to face the entire opposite way around. Okay, so let's do that instead. And then, of course, inversely... do that. We need to get ourselves up on top of here. And then, of course, add ourselves in a whole bunch of redstone dust. And believe it or not, that really is just about it. That's all we need to do. That is a sugarcane farm in its absolute most basic form. So here we go. Sugarcane has been planted down, and now what we need to do is we need to make a building surrounding this entire thing. And we're going to need to use, I'm thinking, glass blocks here, because we don't want to have any opportunities for the sugarcane to just sort of sit there on a ledge next to a glass pane, for example. So let's take some inspiration from some of these other builds. We have ourselves quite a lot of different types of tuff here, and the good news is, at some point or another, I did indeed grab myself quite a lot of tuff. So, I think we're looking pretty good. Sorry there, Mr. Tree, but I'm gonna have to rid you, buddy. Maybe there'll be some other opportunity to have a tree around here, but for now, unfortunately, you are kind of in the way of me making progress with my little build here. Alright, my friends, so slowly but surely, we're making some decent progress. Starting off with making sure that the sugarcane can't go anywhere aside from inside the minecart. Ah, yeah. Alright, so it's looking pretty good. We could definitely do with a little bit of texture messying up, I guess. How many blocks have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe halfway up, we could have ourselves maybe a line of these here chiseled tuff. How are we going to dress this up, eh? Well, I think first of all, we need to introduce a new material, because as you can see, we've got like wood there, we've got wood there. We seem to only have tuff going on here so far. And as a result, it makes this place look just a little bit grey. We don't want none of that nonsense, do we? So let's grab ourselves some sort of wood, and we'll see if we can't make quick work of this. Ooh, sandstone. We could totally incorporate sandstone into our build. Yeah, okay, I think I've got a bit of an idea for it as well. We can line the tops and bottoms of this build with some sandstone stairs, you know, add a little bit more yellow into the build. And then we can get some trapdoors placed on top of the stairs up top here. And that should sort of finish this thing off. Yep, that is looking far, far better. But I still think there are some other things we can do to make this look a bit more interesting. For example, I was thinking maybe some trapdoors surrounding these squiggly blocks. Or maybe even just trapdoors along here. It does look like a rather flat wall, and trapdoors would definitely change that. Maybe even we could have like little planter boxes or something. Here we are with the planter boxes. And now all we need to do is get some flowers. And you know what? I think we're going to go for some double tall flowers maybe for the corners. And then for these middle ones, we'll go for just like normal single tall flowers. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And then we go around here. Plant one there. Plant one there. And finally, of course, at the front, there we go. For the single tall flowers, we've got the lily of the valleys, and we've got some cornflowers. I mean, why the heck not, right? So, let's go and get those bad boys planted. Oh, an apple. Nice! We can make more golden apples with those. Very good. Plant that, and then we're just about good. Has any more paper been created? No, I don't think any of it's grown enough yet. Okay, we're actually not a million miles from this one growing up, though. That just needs to grow up one further block, and then it should push the piston. So, what is missing from this now? Oh, right, messying up the textures here. I've got myself some tough bricks, so I'm just going to sort of dot some of these in. And the final thing that's missing is trapdoors lining the top of the sandstone. Since we've gone for oak trapdoors around the little planter boxes, I think we're going to keep with that. Okay, interestingly, we have ourselves a 2-block thick thing going on here. So if I was to get rid of that, okay. I might just be able to replace this layer here with some more of these here slabs. And here we go, the final piece of the puzzle. ladies and gentlemen, we now have a fully automatic paper factory in our world. And look at this, my creeper brethren are coming to celebrate. All right, has this pulsed yet? Oh, it has. Yeah, nice. We're going to sell some more paper. Ah, amazing stuff, my friends. Absolutely amazing. I'm actually really chuffed on how this looks as well. I think we've done a good job. We've got a nice healthy balance between the yellowy oranges and, of course, the grey with the tough. So, that is 1 out of 2 long overdue projects done and dusted. At some point in the hopefully not too distant future, we need to figure out a way to get ourselves a whole bunch of gunpowder. Making a hostile mob drop trap farm in the ocean probably would be a fairly okay way to go. I mean, at least then I don't really have to worry about lighting up the surface. Just, you know, lighting up the caves underneath. That's all I'd have to do, right? Maybe, just maybe, here's an idea. Somehow, we could incorporate a hostile mob drop trap farm around Prismantis. Well, maybe on top of it, in fact. I'm pretty sure below sea level here, the only hostile mobs that'll ever be able to spawn around here are indeed the Guardians. Because, yeah, the ocean monument structure, you don't really get normal hostile mobs spawning there, do you? It's, like, completely blocked from doing so. So, if I was to have, like, a hostile mob drop trap farm above, that could work, potentially. Of course, though, if you folks have any ideas as to where we could potentially set up a creeper farm or a hostile mob drop trap farm so we can have at least semi-decent rates straight off the rip, let me know in the comments area down below. For now, though, with the completion of our rather lovely-looking fully automatic paper factory, I think it's time to wrap up the episode. And before we do so, I do, of course, have some shout-outs to give. So, my friends, starting off by saying a massive thank you to all of the lovely folks who have donated since the last episode. There's actually a fair few here. We've got OG Gaming coming in with the 13 Canadian dollars and 99 cents. Thank you very much for that, OG. Very much appreciate it. We've got Resnor with the 10 Canadian dollars. Again, thank you. That really does mean the world to me. We've got Toasted Toe coming in with the 5 buckaroos. And finally, Metaton with the £10 donation. Thank you so much, you four. That really, truly does mean the world to me, that support. And in terms of the comment of the day, bit of a momentous occasion. I have decided that I would have 25 comments per comment of the day book, because otherwise I would be spending a silly amount of time just flicking through pages until we got to the correct episode's comment of the day. So yeah, we've actually filled this one up in its entirety. Very good, eh? So let's get that placed in a bookshelf. I think eventually I'd like to have like a proper place for like community appreciation. Kind of similar to the House of Legends in the Let's Play that I had on my Pythonator channel when I had that running. But moving on, we've got the comments of the day here. The first one of this brand new book. We've got Alexis saying, shame your Guardian farm gives you cooked cod. Else you could have made 1 or 2 of those Iron Farm villagers into fishermen to buy your surplus. Ah, see, the thing is, it's only when our farm is in XP mode. That is when we get cooked cod as a result of having fire aspect here. The interesting thing is, even despite the fact that these guys are dying via the soul campfires, when you just sort of leave these guys to die by themselves, look at this. We do indeed get raw cod. So yeah, look at all this. We've got a good amount here, my friends. And as much as I converted the villages in the pods up there all into mason villages, and I have since maxed them all, and indeed made a little bit of a way to get up to them, yeah, there's nothing stopping us from getting ourselves even more villagers. All I need to do is breed up some more villagers in my rudimentary breeder here, find a proper little place for them to settle down, and then yeah, absolutely, we could sell all of our fish to them. Grab ourselves a bunch of emeralds and a whole bunch of XP, and yeah, it'll be a good time, eh? So yeah, very much looking forward after getting that done and dusted, villagers really are a great source of XP and emeralds and resources in general, aren't they? Like, really. It's actually kind of bonkers. But yeah, thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much to all of you folks who have been donating and have been enjoying the live streams as of late as well. If you haven't checked out my new Minecraft Hardcore live stream series, I do them twice a week, typically on Wednesdays and Sundays. But because of the festive season, yeah, the live streams may have been moved around just a tiny little bit. I don't want to be like streaming on Christmas Day, for example, which I know is on a Wednesday this year. And Wednesdays are one of the days when I typically stream. And talking of the festive season, my friends, if there isn't another Pythoncraft episode to come before Christmas Day, then of course I do want to wish each and every single one of you folks a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or if you're not celebrating anything, I really do hope you have a lovely time nonetheless. Now, the good news is, as a little bit of an early Christmas treat, I can tell you that we are not a million miles from finishing off the Calamity Rogue playthrough, and as a result of that, after New Year's, we should be able to get back to making these Pythoncraft episodes far more often than we have been doing. I mean, lately, I'm well aware that we've been lucky to have even just one episode per week. And honestly, my friends, that really is just because I've been trying to dwindle down the amount of series I have going on at any one time. So yeah, just be patient, just a little bit longer. New Year's onwards, these episodes will be coming out thick and fast. And the same goes for Ark Survival Ascended as well, if you're interested. But yeah, for now, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you folks in the next one.